Morning, folks. Very good morning to each and every one of you. We hope you guys are well, wherever you're joining us from this morning. A good morning, a very good morning to each and every one of you. Erwin, Don, and Deborah, and Everett, Grace, and Brian, Emerson, and Isabella. Good to have all of you on the live this morning. Welcome to our broadcast, FYI family. Oh, it's the morning after the night before, and that really great meeting yesterday, rally, whatever you want to call it, whatever term you want to associate it with. That happened at the Square of the Revolution yesterday. The folks turned out in their numbers, and I've seen some news media, Naomi Drucker, at pains to kind of characterize it as a very small, low turnout event and all that. Why is that bothering them? Why is that bothering them? I don't see newsroom, for instance, at press conferences of the opposition, whether it's the PNCR, whether it's the Alliance for Change, the People's National Congress Reform, the Alliance for Change, the Working People's Alliance. For instance, I don't see newsroom at those press conferences. I saw newsroom yesterday afternoon. Cameras out there, the Square of the Revolution. Interesting. These are interesting time, folks. John Davis, Lynette Fernand, these are very interesting times. Newsroom seems to have taken a certain editorial position, a certain management position, administrative position, that they are going to cover things concerning the government, concerning the opposition. Well, same thing. In a couple of mornings, same thing. So, but at least when you're reporting, we can be factual. Or we now heading over to the Daily News column. The Daily News kind of reporting is full propaganda. The photographs there on social media. I'm not gonna press the point too much this morning. Bantu King, Brenda Moore, but there are lots of photographs circulating on social media that shows it was a sizable event yesterday. But that being said, Marlon Thomas, June Cameron, Orwin Dunn, Yvette. That being said, let's say 15 people had gone out there, 10. Right? Is the veracity of the things that Mel said any less? Is it more potent? Is the truth more truthful? If 5,000 people support it, is it more truthful? A lot of people supported Nazi Germany. That doesn't make that didn't make what those people believed good or better. Right? If 10 people say so, is it less impactful? Right? Is it less truth if 5 people believe it? So, but the numbers is. Politics is about the numbers, folks. Nigel Plass and the others, Jilly G. Politics is about the numbers. Yeah. That's it, folks. So much happening. Euclid, Isabella Butters, Isabella. So much happening. Ingrid Austin, Valda Caesar, Deborah Persson, Rena, so much happening. 'Tis the season, folks. Don't be surprised. A lot of guards are going to go down. I like the way they do it in Trinidad and Tobago. Stuart Young, John Rebel, His Excellency Stuart Young. He was sworn in as Prime Minister, the 9th Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. 2 days ago. Day before yesterday. Successor to Dr. Keith Rowley, who resigned. He said, I had enough. I've been out here. I had enough. Been out here warring for a little while. 40 years out here warring. We can learn a thing or two from those guys. Some of us want a state funeral, Some of us want a state funeral. We didn't think this politics could go good without us. If we're not pulling the levers, the thing can't go well. Oh, we God's gift. There was nothing before. Politics started when we arrived. I like to hear people like that talk. Oh, they know all the strategy. If only we do bap. And they're in government now. And they're running like headless chickens. Fluttering. Headless chickens. Come. Turkeys. Headless chickens. Stuart Young, sworn as Prime Minister one day to general elections. One day you could determine that, And then men out here looking to see if things turn in their favor, PPP. If things turn in their favor, then they can call a date. Waiting to see couple projects complete. Hoping to have something to say. Well, we didn't waste time. So Trinidad goes to polls on April 28th. Yeah. In a couple of weeks. And them boys frightened to call a date here. Frightened to call a date. They call it date, man. Irfan at Wales, talking about when they closed down Diamond and so on. I mean, talking about when Apnu did this and Apnu did that. Call it date, man, Irfan. Call the date. You believe you got a mandate and you God's gift to politics like Jack Leo. It all started when you all arrived on the scene in 2020, of course. You all ain't had 30 how much years in power before. No. It all started in 2025 when all money started flowing. Right? When all money started flowing. But the Trinidadians know decisive elections, April 28. Clear succession planning. And now the opposition who had a lot of complaints, My girl Kamala Prasad Bisesar. Ball is in their court now. They called the date. The government called the bluff. Let's see what happens. April 28th. It's going down in Trinidad and Tobago. March. Boom. April. March, April. Yep. I love it. I love it. Look, I want be no pouring time. Everett, Berlin Ward, good morning. Neon Harding, Bushmaster. I want be no pouring time. I want be excitement happening. We're back in all checking place. What things happening? Rahm Emanuel, former mayor of Chicago, former chief of staff to Barack Obama. He said, never let a crisis go to waste. Excitement. Love it, love it, love it. You know? And you know us Guyanese how we are. We hear gunfire happening. We running from it. We run for sea. Like Kesha's thing live here, boy. Like Kesha's thing live. You know? We so excited and energetic in this country for action. When somebody die, we want to see what happening on the other side. So we got camera in hand. Put me in. That's how excited. We're excited. We want to see what's on the other side. We hear from a couple of people. Listen, a lot of light. Moving towards the light as it was bright. We want to see for ourselves. Put me in. That's it. We like the action. Rastaman. We like action. We want to be in no boring time. Rastaman. Ja! Rastafari. We like excitement. So best wishes to the Trinidadians as they're heading to the polls. We only over here with our own border controversy and incursions and it's funny things I heard people say last night. Jack Dio and Irfan, you all carry this bad man way to the border. They shout down. You know when they're talking about Maduro's P's and Q's. P's and Q's. The coffee a little bit now and it's cold. P's and Q's. And Irfan goes bearing gifts. He's carrying a little gold bracelet. You know the cricket bands and stuff, the little diamonds and stuff. He carry a little black cake and a little rum and it's a picnic. Rum diplomacy. You see? You think he can drunk Maduro and Maduro gonna forget. Then he started doing the anti-bantan. You know, he's lock and check. You know? He started doing the lock and check and it's all well from there. And when the rum wear off, what happened? Bap! You know? Oh, Lord. Of all the leaders we could have had, we got Irfan, boy. We got Irfan. Brilliant column this morning. I think I've become undone. Watching myself here. Column, Pippin Job. See, America fighting for free. You ain't got no free lunches. America says stump up. You see them boys want 50% of the rare minerals in Ukraine. Pay up. 50%. We ain't firing a bullet for free. You think then, so we take half of the garbage that PP got in the city clogging up. Major roadways and waterways and so on. No. No. They want rare. They want come with the wealth. The wealth them. You see they're taking half of the house that the big house that Zulfi built in Region 6 the other day that rivals the Ambanis. You know, they got a skyscraper. So if you say Ambani, who's Ambani? I can show them who is me. We ain't fighting for free. So you mean that little money be sit down here waiting on? Say, no God. Me whole life here we got island. Forbes told us that years ago. We got oil. We whole life I waiting for it. I still waiting, you know. It's like how we say youth are the future. I heard that, but like this future don't. It's we chasing rainbows here and unicorns. This future ain't coming. All my life, I had to fight. And here we go. I said, I'm here waiting, but I said, by the time this thing starts flowing, chi-ching, Naomi. Me got dependent Naomi little ravelins and so on. You know? Eva, Rohan, Abigail, I ain't got dependent no little ravelins. But alas, we got now pay the Americans, Pompeo, we paying the other lobbyists 50,000, right? And so on. Melissa April, Sheila Boyd Child. Y'all going on in the comment section. My God, it's a lot. It's a lot. Selwyn wants to know if we invested the 100,000 cash grant. You know, some people not taking them small investments. Yeah. 100,000 US. We good to go then. You know, Neon Harding and Derek Massey. Good to have all of you guys on the live. So this column in Kaiju News this morning, again reinforcing you gotta pay up. You know, there's pay for play. Is that with the PPP? And then you want to be protected, you got to pay up. No free lunches. Don't do it. No free lunches. Ralph get him pay. Ralph Gonzalez. I don't know what secret he got for Irfan them. That Irfan just can't say, Ralph, we no longer require your services. Irfan says, oh, he's now meeting with Maduro, following the guidance of the parliamentary opposition. You know, he has to listen more. Luck and chuck less, moonwalk less, moonwalk and wine less, and listen more, especially to the parliamentary opposition. So he's not going to meet with them. He said, I meet you. Good. But it's more than that. We got to do more than that. Educating our people. But 1966, Geneva Convention, educating our people. With 1899, Arbitral Award. We got to do more to imbue a sense of nationalism and patriotism. In today's Sabbath News, the editorial is lamenting how we approach our cultural heritage. What's the Guyanese culture? Moonwalking is the Guyanese culture. Putting on a bejeweled glove and moonwalking, that's the Guyanese culture. Carnival is not it. What's the Guyanese culture? So why are they so afraid to say Ralphie, Rolf, your services are no longer required. So Ralph in Venezuela talking about our business. Everybody else under the sun knows that the Argyle Agreement is dead in the water. But you see, Ralph is so fixed for some relevance as a Caribbean leader. I wouldn't even give him that title. Because the people writing St. Vincent and the Grenadines can't be techie. As a leader in the region, as one of the regional leaders, he's so fixed for some relevance in this age. You know, he is a relic of a bygone era. How the place with Ralph Gonzalez get? Everybody know the Argyle Agreement dead in the water. Everybody knows that. I saw Oren Gordon commenting on that quite recently. Dead in the water. Ralph Gonzalez saying that both sides need to exercise restraint and caution and calm down. Guyana is the aggressor here? Guyana is the aggressor here? I'm in Venezuela. I got my machete. I got my cutlass. I ready for anything. I ready for any and all eventualities. To protect my countrymen, to protect my family. I ready for any eventuality. And if y'all think I bad, I train under my wife, sir. All eventualities we ready for. But Ralph, right now in Venezuela, transacting our business. This is like Putin and Trump meeting in Ukraine to determine how much of the 50% or the 60% Russia gonna get. With the backdoor dealings. Ralph and Venezuela right now meeting on Guyana. And Ralph saying to Maduro, Ralph Gonzalez, right? What was the phrase that Dr. Hines had? Ralph is one of that. What's the phrase again? Dr. Hines comes with so many of these things, so many of these phrases. Ralph right now in Venezuela. Right now. Y'all remember, what's the phrase? Dr. David Hines, he had a phrase the other day, man. Very popular phrase. Ralph is that. Ralph is that. Right now, he transacting our affairs. Oh, that's a Solomon. It's like we're not even here. But you see, Irfan can't rebuke who he's been sleeping with. Jack Yoda can't rebuke. They're bad for Ralph. Oh, it's Norton. Oh, they will not be allowed. But Ralph, he right now talking to Maduro. How much gold you want from them? You know about it, Irfan. Irfan is a Paku. I call the shots. He in Venezuela. New Harley said Ralph got the biggest bag. He in Venezuela right now. Talking about we. So how much of the oil you can take by it? Huh? When your governor goes in there and asks you, how much Trump think? It's like we short. Like we short here. Like they can't even see us in this room. We right here. But everyone can't ball up to your friend and say, Ralph, in law we learn about agents. When a company has an agent, a company may or may not be responsible for the actions of the agents. We're talking about third-party liability and so on. Oh my God. My law people would be a little impressed something stick. Everything they follow, the same they come in. Third party. Privity of contract, third party arrangements and such and so forth. I'm trying to sound impressive now. And if he's not an agent and the company is not responsible for what you say, you're gone outside your remit, your permit, your orbit. You're gone outside of that. In short, you'd say you're on a frolic of your own. Oh my God, hear me now. That's at least a C+. That response. That's my best grade, That's at least a C+ there. You're on a frolic. Ralph, like you're on a frolic of his own. Or is he an agent? Did Irfan Ali, Barack Jagdeo, did they say, Ralph, you go and talk to him? Because I feel like we see this movie before. I know we got international lawyers, Selwyn Peters and the like. Chief, what do you say about this? Is he an agent? He talking to them. He still believes because of his stature. Since he met with young brother, since he met with Vibes Cartel, he believes because of his stature he could go and eke out a meeting. Even though Irfan them say, we're not meeting. I can listen to our brief. We are meeting. He still believes, look, you know what he said. He got to talk what he talked there because he got a thing. He got an election, you see. He got to talk. But I know. What's happening? What's happening here? I don't know what's happening here. I just don't know. What's going on here? Right? Like they know something. We know. It's Ralph transacting with business. Ralph transacting. He deep in our affairs. You know. Ralph may be benefiting more from this island, this island economy than we who are right here. And while they're happening, you know, while Ralph doing international affairs for us, running point first with Venezuela, is Ralph being paid? What's Ralph's remuneration? What's his, because if the US is protecting me for free, Ralph must say, I ain't. Who paying for this flight, chartered flight and so on? Is Ralph being paid for that? I mean, like, what's the arrangement? What's your terms of reference? The terms of engagement? If you're out here inspecting bridge, I want to go and inspect the one the people built by Yankoko. I want to go and inspect the one the folks built at Yankoko. She went out there inspecting the new Denver Harbor Bridge. Folks, this country collapsed. Said everyone was shocked that lots of the contractors did not show up, were not on site for his visit. Nobody respects you. Nobody respects you. You see, he was shocked. He always shocked. He in a 5:30 meeting part 1, he shocked. He had a part 2 the other day with regional officials where we saw a boy, Darmlal. You know, Darmlal still eating the food under this government. This government is so deceitful and wicked. You know, Darmlal still eating the bread. Darmlal was at the meeting. Front row, front seat billing. So everyone was shocked. Teddy, Lenny, Andrew, Deborah, when the report says, well, you know, when newsroom report, you don't know what to believe, because they said they had a very small gathering last evening. You know, low turnout, poor turnout, like was in election, yeah? So they know the electorate and how many people were expected to vote and so on. They're going by the bloated voters list. It was a poor turnout. But they said that the head of state, the head of state, he was shocked. Sharmila Ejil. Sharmila, how are you doing this morning? Sharmila, how are you doing? Sharmila is a Tantarian and Sharmila is a Tantarian in Kukwani, you know. Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you how much Redaman believe it. It's true. Meet Sharmila Ejil. Well, I'm going to tell you all, you know. I saw Chanel Smith Daniels out there yesterday afternoon. Chanel, I don't know. My eyes is not too, you see, looking for the glasses, the thing right here. You know, quite recently I was looking for my glasses, frantically. Right? My wife said, look, the glasses right in your hands. I said, oh yes. You know, my eyes not too thick. Shannon, I don't know if your Vision 2020. But they say you had a low turnout. Like was the election, you know? So 0.5 in the electorate went out. Right? 0.5. You know, I don't know if I call a meeting if 3 people gonna come. But 100 showed up last night. Let's see if you call up meeting and people come, you're a leader. It's not a very high benchmark. If you call a meeting and people show up, you're a leader. You know? But I think I saw a lot of people. I saw a large crowd, a sizable crowd. I saw Sabak News says about 300 person. You know, I put it at 4. Some people might put it at 5. But it wasn't a... Come on now. Come on now. Right. Everyone called a meeting and he was shocked. A lot of people didn't win. So a lot of the contractors didn't come. Because they know the president wasn't going to be there. The contractors didn't go because they know the president wasn't going to be there. If it was going, if and Ali, you know, same man that used to be ticked with the Mohammeds before elections, driving around in the Raptor. Oh, he was nice then. He wasn't a false prophet then. When the 20 million flowing in to the PPP, he wasn't a false prophet. You see, the contractors didn't go yesterday because they're not false prophet coming. The false prophet they coming, so he said he was shocked. You see, if he was a real prophet, you can pick up the Lord and show you that. They ain't turning up. They ain't coming. You won't be surprised if he's a real prophet. But see the false prophet, they can be shocked. They can be. He said he was shocked. And of course, you know the line: read the right act, lay down the law, throw the book at them, no extensions, no delays. Well, Chief, when the bridge falling apart, like the roads you are building, you can wish you'd give them a little extra time to get it right. This is not Dolly House, you know. This is not Dolly House. There'll be no delays. When people start building that bridge, like the roads in Kokwani, folks, I wish I could have carried all of y'all to see. I told y'all the further out you go in this country, is more corruption, you know. More decadence and decay. Kokwani got certain parts, just dirt road. Them boys just flatten them more. And pouring cement. Chuck 2 wire, touch 2 wire. They say steel. You know? Just dash wire on the ground, dash steel rods on the ground and pouring cement, dash road. So people, Nigel Plus. I gotta be specific now in Nigel, because you have the other class who's a Nigel. You know? Darmlal, meet man. Nigel Hughes, Nigel London, gotta be specific now. Nigel Plus. The people didn't turn up. He said he was shocked. Right. Was this shocked similarly when the quite a few contractors didn't turn up to the 5 a.m.? Right. How much shock you get for shock, man? How much bucks you got for bus? My God. My Lord. He was shocked. That's what the folks said. He was shocked. We're in such a bad place, huh? We're in such a bad place. He was shocked. If he walk around the city right there, he can be shocked, you know. You remember all the cleanups they had and so on? He walk around the city right now. He shocked again. I saw a huge dump site is emerging just off St. Sidwell's Anglican Church, St. Sidwell's Primary School, Pleasanton and what street is that? Hatfield Street. I didn't know that they doing an inner city dump site there. He will be shocked. Just before Moody visited National Cleanup His Skin. And they're trying to replicate what happened under the Granger administration, but they can't catch it. They can't catch it. He can be shocked with that too. Shocked. Clogged drains and my Lord. I saw his Attorney General come out this morning trying to defend the indefensible. Trying to defend the indefensible. He said he didn't see He said he didn't see this one Guyana slogan emerged from the PPP. It is Irfan Ali's nonsense, and so it's the government's approach to governance. So it's national. You know, I know we got a couple of PPP folks watching us, and those who are going to be writing the reports, they're going to be sent upstairs. Right? Those of you who are going to be writing the report for further transmissions, onward transmission, PP got to admit it itself. You know, it's like you wake up and look in the mirror this morning and say, "I'm a hypocrite." I'm a hypocrite. You know, sometimes I can't take my own self. To thine own self be true. Shakespeare writing ages ago. You know, not about banty lions, but about battalions. To thine own self be true. The Christian tradition that Irfan seems to like more than, I never hear Irfan quote nothing from the Quran. Nothing. You know? And there's some beautiful passages there. Some beautiful passages. I love to hear my brother Louis Farrakhan and these matters. But Irfan, you know, he loves the Christian tradition. The Christian tradition talks about truth on the inward parts. We're talking to this morning. Some of y'all miss Bible study tonight, Wednesday night. If you're Pentecostal churches, Wednesday night is Bible study night. Truth on the inward parts. Shakespeare says, to thine own self. These hypocrites. These are folks who objected to one of the colors of the national flag, green, being painted on buildings. Red. If you paint it red, we ain't got no problem. We can take over the red house. It goes in keeping with our scheme of things, our theme and scheme of things. Red, yeah. But green, the new. Yellow, The AFC. Red, you pee bad. You know? But he comes to say, no, this is national. This is not one Guyana. They're such hypocrites. These are the folks. They skill you, Raquel, Ruhan Basantram. Let's cry at your funeral. Not only that, they fight your family to read the eulogy. They fight your family to read the eulogy. That's how they are. They fight your family. There's the one who killed you, you know. They come for cry at your funeral. And this is not ordinary crying, you know. This is number 28 kind of crying at funeral. This is Yeovil kind of crying at. This is 41. You got crying at funerals, and then you got the Babishans. Here you see Babishans at a funeral. It's an art form. Right? You don't understand the word weeping, right? The verb weeping, or is it a gerund? Depends on how you use it in a sentence, I guess. Weeping. You don't understand weeping and gnashing of teeth. You don't understand lamentation till you're at a Bobby's funeral. You understand me? Let me give you another. Let me give you a detour. Let me give you a detour. So my wife's grandmother, transition, beautiful soul, you know. She got her heart's desire. She always told my wife's family, told my wife and her daughter, my wife's mother, when this girl going off? She getting big now, you know. So when I asked home, when I asked home for the Burmese girl, oh, she was thrilled. She was thrilled. When my wife's family was a little more apprehensive about this loudmouth guy, she came out fighting for me. This is my wife's grandmother. That's the aside. But when she transitioned, Tongue People funeral and Babishan's funeral, there's no comparison. Tongue People stately by I should say stately. British by comparison. Wait, too. Reserve. It's gonna peep. When Barbicians come out for you, they come out. So I go on the funeral and, you know, I'm supporting my wife. So this means I get to keep my son. That's what supporting. You get to steady back and keep it quiet and let her do her thing. That's what it means. I'm there to support. Means steady back and keep the boy quiet. So I there and I hear a voice. Like Shakespeare says in Julius Caesar, I hear a voice shrill above the crowd. Cry Caesar! Shrill voice. I hear a voice above everybody else. I hear a wailing and a lamentation like I have never heard before. So I left it back now. I said, who is these people now? Who is this? You know that one person always got for take over? They call him, it's like Chanel. They call him the chief mourner. I'm sure Chanel has been the chief mourner at a lot of funerals. Like MP Vince Wright Jordan. At a lot of funerals. Take over. Say, I accept my son now. Remember, I supposed to keep him quiet in the back. I'm supporting. And I peep around the door. When I peep, I see me wife. I see me. My eyes quite shut. I saw my wife become something else. Become. and now there we can go in depth. You got to study this thing, you know. Funeral in the country is a sociology. Right? It's anthology. It's ontological. My UG people will be proud of me today. A whole show we got to spend on just. I know. We look at it. Sometimes you see different aspects of it in social media, and we smile down. Put men. You know, they take they have the horse and the cart and the this and the dancing through the street. It's political. It's a study. My Lord. Folks, it's me wife. You like take over this thing. And given there, she's quiet. Quiet. But that being said, folks, these boys, they would kill you take over your funeral. Fight the wife, the grandmother, the mother. Fight everybody. Fight Chanel. For read the eulogy. It's them. The real sanctimonious gangsters. Fight. It's them is the sanctimonious gangsters. He come now to say, oh, it was right, it's good for us to do it. But if they paint a building in the national colors, we gonna fight them. But we doing national service here. Hypocrites. 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 You know? Yeah. Yesterday, I caught up with MP Coretta McDonald. Coretta's a Barbies guy, you know. You have to see Coretta stand up. You always get a nice version of Coretta. You always get tongue version. You always get tongue version of Coretta. I had the privilege of going with Coretta back to her hometown. Manchester, Liverpool. I had a chance to see Coretta in her natural habitat. The Alexander Village Coretta, that's a tongue Coretta. I see a little bit of my wife in Coretta. It's better said a stop train is Manchester. It's Yeovil. It's Buxton. It's better stop train again. I met up with Coretta, who's been residing in Atlantic Alexander Village for a little while now, and as a resident, called up with her yesterday, and you know, she raised some concerns. Take a look. I'm here with you in Alexander Village. This is home turf for you. And you got some concerns, not only as an MP, but a citizen of this community, a resident of this community, a citizen of this country. Talk to us about the challenges the neighborhood is facing.
Let me say, first of all, there are several challenges that are facing the residents in this community here, Alexander Village. You have from 1st to 4th Street. In 1st Street, I remember, and let me say from the onset that I've been living here for the last 14 years. And from the time I got here, 1st Street, the rain just has to smile, and 1st Street is flooded, completely flooded, where you have to put on a long boots. The water sometimes is way past your knee, depending on the amount of rainfall. But I remember during the coalition's term in office, what they did, we had a community walk around. We listened to the residents here, and their suggestions were, one, the trench at Hunter Street Trench, that it must be desilted. The trench, Yarrow Dam there, that runs there, that one must be desilted. And it's going to ease the problems that we are having with drainage. If you look around, you're going to find the gutters, stagnant water, which means that the water isn't running where it's supposed to be running freely. And nobody seemed to be doing anything about it. So we have the flooding in 1st Street. So when 1st Street floods, you can't, it is not accessible. So you have to either go if you're coming from the East Bank, you have to go all the way around, or you turn off on Mandela here if you have enough space to come in here, because the road is usually flooded with traffic, because sometimes people use 1st Street as a getaway, but when there is flooded, then everybody will use Cross Street. And so even the residents living in the various streets, you get a hard time to come into your street because of how the traffic is heavy. So we have the flooding, which is caused by blocked drains, clogged trenches, or canals, if we want to call them that. And then we have the noise nuisance. We have these folks who are young men who are doing the automobile, installing boom boxes into other people's vehicles, tuning. And so every day you have the noise, whether it's a holiday, whether it's Good Friday, every day you have the noise. And one of the sad thing about it is that we find lots and lots of policemen coming here to have their cars tuned, you see police vehicles turning up in this street as well. And so when you make the reports to the Rumville police station, absolutely nothing is being done. As a matter of fact, sometimes they call the folks and tell them who made the report. And so nothing is being done with regards to the noise nuisance. We have the issue of robbery. Robbery has started again in this area where you have guys on motorcycles riding along the street during desolate hours, and they're snatching bags from young women, they're sticking up young men, they're robbing the little shops that we have here. So that's the other problem. And then we've got the other issue here where right to the head of 4th Street, there seems to be a sewage problem, something there that keeps overflowing all the time, flooding the front of the street. Several complaints have been made to various agencies, but we seem to be getting nowhere, because 2 mornings you would see the road is dry, and another 2 morning you see the road wet, and it continues to happen, and the stench you get from it sometimes is saying to you that something is definitely wrong. And I don't know what else we should be doing here as residents to have this issue corrected. And then the last issue, we're going to talk about it a little later on when we get there. But these are the issues right here that is affecting citizens. Motorcycle guys who are robbing folks, clog the drains, flooding of 1st Street, 2nd Street, because sometimes the water, it would come way down to 2nd Street. So you have flooding in 2nd Street, flooding in 4th Street. And the authorities must look into these issues. I mean, when you look at what has been presented in the budget, millions and billions of dollars, hundreds of millions and billions of dollars have been allocated to the various ministries. But yet you find in these communities, residents continue to suffer because the government just don't care.
Yep. Government just don't care. Y'all know the whole thing. Y'all know the whole thing. Our sister originally from Liverpool. Respect and manners to country people. Respect them. You see, that stands out to you. I figure if you especially if you come from the country, where you know people take care of where they live. You know, people discard the refuse properly. Most of the time, it's only now the little corruption, and so on, getting into the countryside. It's only now. Folks, you see these bogus charges that they brought against our folks? You remember Swift Girl? Miss Linda Rasul? She was in a stand recently. Swift Girl, Roslinda Rasul. How you could trust the PPP? You remember we spoke about Swift Girl? One day she had this place, she had that place, she had the next EasyJet, Red Jet, GSMC. Jesus, man. She gets you wrong. Right? She's a Swift girl. She gets you wrong, Movements. Rasul was on a stand recently. And we learned this girl gets around. You're telling me? And I hope Nigel Hughes, who is defense on this, Nigel Hughes and team, who's running point on this, I hope they get what they got to get out of her, because she's Swift. She'll be gone soon. She don't stay one place for too long. So we're learning that. These bogus charges they brought against a lot of folks from, former staff at GCOP, Roxanne Myers and Hertzberg and so on, and Mingo and Keith Lowenfield and the others. Trump lost power. You had Biden. Trump come back in power. And PP still trying to prove rigging, Still trying to prove rigging. So we learned that Swift Girl Swift girl. Right? Deborah, Swift girl. She's a director at Transport and Harbors. That's what they tell us. This girl doesn't touch EasyJet, RedJet, GSMA. Right? She gets around. She quick. You know? I used to be fascinated by the Starlet. You know, the Mitsubishi Lancer. Quick. Pick up quick and gone. Bop, bop, bop. She's swift. She make them look like nothing. She make them look like nothing. They got another quote unquote little car. I see it in my mind's eye now. Try to remember the brand. Quick pickup, engine pickup, quick and gone. You know, she make them look like nothing. You know, some cars take a little while to pick up and then, but when they start running, they're running. She directed Transport and Harbors. Of course, one of the things her substantive brown bag in the government. Remember, she went with AmCham, observed with AmCham. She did with somebody else. You know, she did with a lot of people. I mean, she did a lot of organizations. You know, she did with a lot of organizations. She's headed for the diaspora unit. Right? They said her qualifications are undisclosed. Right? I know her qualifications. Her monthly salary for head of diaspora unit undisclosed. But she's head for the diaspora unit. She would Transport and Harbors. I think that's a good match. Transport, she quick, you see? She quick. So I could see why she should be there. Right? Transport and Harbors. That says it all. I can see that. No surprises there. Diaspora unit. She like move around. You know? She plays her strengths. She's quick. She's move around a lot. You know? Here now. She's a director of the Canoan Ferry Service. Jesus have mercy. Nothing is off limits to her, you know. Even the Canoan Ferry Service, she try with. She quick. I hear rumors that she had GRA. She get every point of the field she played. Here she want to run for mayor. She want to head the coalition. She quick. Right? Head with the diaspora affairs. Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Hold on. You think she done that? She now getting warmed up. She now getting warmed up. You think she finished there? Right? You think the Canoan big, the Canoan small fishy? She want more than that. Director of the Canoan diaspora unit she's at. Transported. Sheila by chance, she's an all-rounder. She's a director at Marad. Jesus mercy. She's watching them big ships now. She's watching them big ships in the PPP, the big ships. Right? She was the one with the carrying of the cocaine the other day. 4 tons of cocaine. Maybe she was distracted with the trial, so she didn't see that. Maybe she was distracted with the trial. She's a director at Marad. She's an observer. Auntie Sandra says she foot quick. Jesus. What's she salary like when the man come? She got be cumulatively. She earning more than Irfan. You know? She got to be earning now. What she pension gonna look like? Transport and harbors. She's directed there, right? She take the whole big canoe one. Check foreign affairs. Murdered. We gonna pass a whole law for she specifically. You see? You understand why opposition can't get on none of these boards and so on? She alone take up the space of about 20 opposition people. With everything that she doing here. You know? With everything that she taking here. She left with nothing for nobody else. She ain't left with nothing for nobody else. But that's what I want to get to. I'm not warming up. She ain't left for nobody else. It's some of what came out in this cross-examination. You know? Jack just got his corner shop show, call a press conference on Thursday, but I got my press conference now. I got my press conference now. Yo, Shane, I just gonna go through a couple of things. I know we press for time as it is, right? But they tell us she's omitted things from her statement. In her own deliberate judgment, she has omitted things on the cross-examination by defense counsel Nigel Hughes before acting magistrate Faith McGusty. Discrepancies have now emerged, not from the SOPs, from her statement. She admitted that her statement to the police did not include some evidence she submitted to the 2022 Commission of Inquiry. If you're moving from man to man, place to place, like this, you might forget the last place, or the last thing that you did. You would forget the last place that you did. The last thing that you did. She admitted she omitted. She omitted. So she tell the police one thing, and then she tell the COI. We knew that COI was a fraud. We knew that COI was a fraud. She admitted, Swift girl, Swifty. Let me bring down Taylor Swift supporters. Swift girl, she admitted she took half and she left half. In her own deliberate judgment. On the cross-examination. You know? We're being told that defense counsel pointed out crucial evidence regarding the conduct of the PPP agents that were omitted from her police statement. The defense counsel questioned whether Rasool had misled the court. And of course, she denied this. But hold on. Hold on. She acknowledged, Swift girl, brown bag girl, she acknowledged that during the early tabulation process at GCOM, listen to this. During the early tabulation process at GCOM, at the Region 4 Command Center. Statements of poll were left. Statements of poll. Remember, I always want SOPs. Statements of polls were left unattended for hours in the presence of PPPC's agents and herself. Statements of, she admitted this bigly, that statements of polls were left unattended for hours in the presence of herself and PPP agents. This is fascinating. The people that had access to the SOPs, the PPP by themselves for hours. You see, we talked about hypocrisy earlier. People who kill you, cry at your funeral, and fight your family to read the eulogy. They had access to the polls. Not the polls that fallen down in the PPP currently, but to the SOP. They had access by themselves for hours. According to the report, she admitted this. Initially, according to the report, she had said her training, she's multi-trained. When you pass through all them people, agencies and so on, you got training like, You got training like, Her training prevented her from accessing the SOPs. But she later admitted that nothing physically prevented her. She also did not disclose this information to the police, but later claimed a GCOM representative was in the room. So her story changes to suit the environment and where she's working. The story changes. Right? It changes. Hear this now. As we wrap up, she said that, or it was revealed that during the election, officials abandoned the SOPs in favor of a spreadsheet causing the dispute. Officials abandoned the SOPs that the PPP had access to for hours by themselves, that she had access to for hours by herself, by her admission in this report. GCOM abandoned the SOPs in favor of a spreadsheet, according to her, causing the disputes. On the cross-examination, Swift Girl admitted that she never personally saw the SOPs from any political party. She never personally saw the SOPs from any political parties and cross-referenced them with the GCOM figures. She says she never cross-referenced them. She never saw the SOPs. This is a PPP girl, you know. This is a PPP Swift Girl, Roslinda, Rasul. This is the PPP Swift Girl, Roslinda, Rasul. She says she never saw the SOPs of other political parties, and she never cross-referenced them with the SOPs because she never saw them and she never cross-referenced them. But what is more, right? She said that two observers' SOPs that she referenced were given to her at the AmCham's office after the election, this is March 13th, 2 observer SOPs she referenced were given to her. Remember, she's a Swift girl. She was with Amchan then, right? She was with Amchan then. Amchan. Good? She was with Amchan then. Good? And she goes on. This is so telling. She says that on March 19th, Anil Nandalal asked her to provide a statement, but she denied knowing it was for the PPP's General Secretary. Right? And then she was asked if she was paid for her affidavit, which she denied. Right? She denied being paid. Right? And you see Anderson, who's part of the team, the defense team, this is attorney at law, UC Anderson, who questioned whether she was paid for her affidavit. He suggested that her legal consultation with Anil Nandalal compromised her neutrality. Compromise her neutrality. So she said she wasn't paid for her affidavit, and she didn't know it was going to the head of her party because she is part of the UTAR of the PPP and she's a PPP girl. But she didn't know that the statement that Nandalal asked her for was going up the chain in the party. She wasn't paid for her affidavits, but she's the head of the Diaspora Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. She wasn't paid for her affidavits, but she's a director at Transport and Harbors Board. She wasn't paid for her affidavits, right? But she's a director of the Canoan Ferry Service. She wasn't paid for the affidavit, but she's a director at Marad. Receiving hefty honorarium, but she wasn't paid for her affidavits. She wasn't paid for changing statements. No. She's just an upright citizen trying to make a difference in the world. Yeah. The Swiftie, Swift girl, Racinda Rasul. Swift girl, Racinda Rasul. Mouth open, story jump out. There's the SOPs for me. From the people who like SOPs. She was not in the room. Well, the thing was left with them. The SOPs, and then she didn't see and she didn't cross-reference it. Swift girl, Racinda Rasul. Folks, let's leave it there. And we're going to catch you guys on our next broadcast. That's our time for today. Good folks, good friends, FYI family. And that's our program. Thanks for joining us. In the hundreds, we got 1,800 plus of you on the live with us this morning. 1,800 plus of you. 1,300 joining us via YouTube. Over 1,300, and we got over 500 of you joining us on Facebook. Thank you guys so much. There's Emmanuel, Everett Small, Dan Graves Andy, Marlon Thomas, Everett Tudor, Godfrey Montaigne, Maxine Tudor. Thank you guys so much. And all the others, the hundreds of you who are on with us right now. Thanks for joining us this morning. We're going to see you guys back on our next podcast. Stay safe. That's our time, folks, this morning. And that's our program. Stay safe. Thank you guys so much for being here. Have a great day. Have a fantastic day. Stay safe.